I was just a carefree 23-year-old. I had no worries in the world. Worked out regularly, hung out with friends, just a regular 23-year-old. Well, the night before was pretty normal. I met up with some friends and I went and worked out that night and then went to bed all as normal, and then woke up the next morning feeling like I was choking, my jaw was hurting, and just severe chest pains, and I knew that something was wrong and I had to get to the hospital. Once I reached the hospital, they wheeled me back and they thought it was a panic attack. They had no idea how severe it was. They got me into a CAT scan and noticed that my chest is filling up with blood, and they had found that I had an aortic aneurysm that had burst, and they immediately knew how serious the condition was and had to get me into surgery right away. Once the doctors told me about the CAT scan, my coworker had came to the hospital to be by my side, and the doctor came in and told me that he was going to try everything he could to save my life, but he wasn't sure how serious it was until he got in surgery. And so he told me to make some phone calls to my parents, and they live in Texas, so I'm fairly new to the area, so I had to make that phone call. And it was very hard, and I don't really remember what I told them, but I knew I told them I loved them and hopefully I would see them afterwards. The doctor said this was caused by a birth defect that I was born with, something I didn't know that I had for 23 years. I was never sick, never had a surgery other than my tonsils and wisdom teeth, never ever had a problem with, being healthy, working out, never ever thought I would have something this serious. After 12 hours of being in surgery, I went to the cardiovascular ICU, and from there I spent a couple days, and they noticed I had some complications. The aneurysm had ruptured some of my arteries, and so I had to go get some stents put in my carotid artery and my subclavian artery. So that put me back in the cardiovascular ICU for a couple more days and prevented me from leaving the hospital on time. At first, it was a struggle. I could not drive for 6 to 8 weeks. The recovery time was about 3 months until I went back to work, and I am now on medication that I'll be on for the rest of my life. I haven't let anything slow me down since the surgery. It was a little bit of a hard recovery time, but since then I've been doing everything that I was doing before, and I haven't let the scar bring me down at all. And I would just say to anyone out there that to listen to their body. You know as well as anyone else your body, so just if something doesn't feel right, to go get checked. Life is back to normal. I am now back at work, hanging out with friends, exercising regularly, and I'm also recently engaged, and we're planning our wedding and planning our future, happy and healthy. I'm alive today thanks to the wonderful, caring, professional medical staff at the hospital and the advances made possible by the American Heart Association. Will you please open your heart